Hey, this is Willie. Got an update for you guys. Got the 712H now, 14 horsepower, so technically it's a 714H, but whatever. Sticker says 712H, I'm going to go with that. Finally got the thing running like it's supposed to. It had some sort of a knock in there. I had to tear it apart and fix it. I'm not going to say what the problem was because I don't want to get the guy that built it in trouble. Either way, well, I'll put the block together. Either way, stuff happens, and it's fixed now. It's back together, and had a hard time starting for some reason. So I was getting in there and took the points cover off and checked the timing. There's a little S and a hash mark on the flywheel in that little window right there you can see for spark timing. Adjusted that a little bit, and I noticed when the engine was running I had some arcing at the points. I'll put that footage on the end of the video. Difference between before and after replacing the condenser. Anyway, one of the other problems I had with this deck is for some reason it was always cutting lower on the deflector side, and the right side didn't have any weight on it whatsoever. The rollers would be on the ground on this side but up in the air on the other side. That's why I had to replace this roller bar in an earlier video, because it's wearing on this side more for some reason. Started doing some finagling on everything, and there's a bar that runs from this side all the way to the other side that's not really adjustable on the roller bar. Okay, so what I wound up doing to be able to have some adjusting left to right is I sort of got the idea from like newer tractors where they have a cam bolt that allows you to adjust one side for about 1 inch. So I added a piece of metal here. You tighten these two bolts to set this adjustment, and they thread into the original roller bar bracket. And I slotted that so I could adjust this up and down about 3/4 of an inch, and that got me level left to right. Still had a problem with more weight on this side than there was on the right side. So I started doing some more finagling on the brackets that run off of this bar that runs across, that's solid up to the front. And what I found was one of these rods would be compressed one direction, another one would be depressed from another direction. When I undid one rod, it would still have more weight on one side versus the other, so I undid one pin, and it actually went up. This side, this one bracket here, came up, which relieved the weight off of this side of the deck, and then put it onto the other side. So, long story short, I believe this deck has been beat up a little bit over the years, as you can imagine, being that this is the original deck to this actual tractor from the 70s. The brackets are out of whack in the front, and it's got a bar that runs across. Hard to see right here. See if I can't get that focus in. There's a bar that runs from this bracket over to the other. And being that I can't really unbolt and tweak that bracket for pitch, what I wound up doing is cutting that 1-inch bar and putting a coupler in. I'll show that in a second. So I can actually get some adjustment to level that bracket back out, which then straightened everything out. I could actually get adjustments using these threads and jam nuts to get everything leveled back out again. So let me show you what I did underneath here. And if you don't have one of these tools, I suggest getting one. These are really nice. I cut the bar that runs from this side to the other side about here, okay, which gave me about 6 inches on this side, so I could slide this coupler onto one side and pick the bracket back up and then slide it over to the other side. If I cut it in the middle, I wouldn't have been able to have as wide of a bar, so that's why it's offset. So I could slide this onto one side, get it up in place, and then move it back over, and I can have a wider piece. And if you cut it in the middle, it can only be about 4 inches instead of this 6 inches. So that's why I did that. And I had a machine shop make this collar, and looks like I missed. Ooh, so my set screws came loose. I got to retighten those. Yeah, I'm gonna have to readjust that. I might have to put Loctite on these. But yeah, that gave me my adjustment for left and right. It got rid of that tension between the left and right bracket. Even when this bracket is loose, it was still better than if it was tight, and the collar still keeps this in line so it's not flopping too bad. But when you lift the deck, this bar is what keeps the deck from dropping on one side. And I still have some more adjustments to do because I have a set screw falling out and another one that's loose, even though I had those tight. But I'll straighten it out. Some Loctite should fix that. Oh, I have 2 set screws that came out. Just doing some experimentation. So yeah, that's some of the stuff I had to do and trying to straighten things out as best I can. But it's running good again. I also got some wheel weights here to put on here, but I gotta get bolts for them today. I'm gonna head out and get those now. Get rid of the hubcaps. I like the hubcaps. That's sort of like what Zippo Varga does on his 64 Landlord, but I want some weights in the front so it tills a little bit better. There's more weight up front when you have the tiller on the back. Leaving the rear tires alone. I also have some more Simplicity weights over here. I got to put onto my 64 Landlord. So I've been busy. So yeah, that was just a quick video. And some bonus footage to come up after. Ooh, actually I do have some more information for you. I got some new parts for my car, which now has 120,000 on it. So I've put like 9,000 miles on it. Anyone know what that is in the center? You don't see these too often. I had to buy those with a kit to be able to mount the correct hubcaps on there. I have all 4 of them in there, and I also have the lock keys and the lock and everything to go in the car. I just got to clean those up and put them on. I also got, let me grab it, give me a second, some mud flasks to put onto the car. That's the only bad spot in the exterior right there is for rust, as well as right here on the fender liner right here. If I can get that to focus in, there's a little bit of rust hole right here. Kind of feeling a piece. It's supposed to be metal all the way over there, and it's missing here, but that's not detrimental to the car. And it's kind of just coming off. I gotta fix that. There's another spot back there you can't really see, but that's only rust on the car, is those 2 spots, and I should be able to fix those. You know how it goes when you're working with old equipment, you're always working on it. Even our 2012 Nissan is ailing a bit. We're waiting on well, we had the bearing, we're just waiting on time to get the bearing back in on that. So it's been busy. Here's something that replaced the Honda Bis air pump, which was unfortunately wore out. It was only pumping about 80 psi, so we hook these 110 air pumps up to the 240 plug and use that to get some extra air for sandblasting. So yeah, I'm always working on stuff. Sorry I haven't been able to post as many videos as I normally do. I got to edit the one video for the push mower that I got back together. That's gone out of here. So it'll take a little while for that, so hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned, because I have some bonus footage coming up, as I have mentioned. So hope you enjoy.